caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Good evening, excuse me, and welcome to the Caltrop. I'm your host, Michael Calderese, and we are, as you know, your defense mechanism for all things that are absolute lies and bullshit and garbage. And I'm going to tell you something. You know, we witnessed from the UFC to this Iran deal, how it's being portrayed both by the right and both by the left. I find it all to be so ridiculously reprehensible from everything. From the fake outrage and the hypocrisy of the Michelle Obama, she's a man comment to, you know, all the attacks on Melania. I mean, when you look at the absolute rank hypocrisy and the way everything is being spun, I mean, you're being lied to on a day-to-day basis. And, you know, the Mike's Right today, as I often do, is going to point out the hypocrisy of both sides. It's going to point out how we had an event in the UFC that was amazing. And we can't even come together and just admit that that was an awesome event, besides a couple of words, besides 5 words. And, you know, even with that, I mean, you got a lot of chuckles, and it was fun. And, you know, sometimes I think enjoyment and having fun is way more important than being outraged. But we're going to talk about that in the Mike's Right. And we have a packed show for you guys. I'm not going to do a lot of bluster here. But we have, obviously, Trump and the Iran deal. All right. We have Mike Cuckabee. Mike Huckabee on Israel, on what he thinks his role is. It's very interesting watching American ambassadors take up for other countries. I'm not sure that's in their job description, but we're going to talk about it. Trump, you know, the rhetoric against Israel is starting to sound a little bit more like Calderese has been sounding for a little while. I think maybe he listens to the show because he sounds exactly on Lebanon the way I've been talking about Lebanon. So we have Trump on Lebanon. Then we have a smorgasbord of other stuff. I mean, we have obviously the Michelle is a man comment. We have an NBA comment about shaking hands, about how the NBA finals with the Knicks. By the way, congratulations, Knicks. I am not a Knicks fan, but congratulations to them. But it's very interesting discussion about shaking hands. We're going to get into that. We have Whoopi Goldberg. We have, you name it. Justin Gaethje. Incredible situation. We have Scots that are drinking cities out of all the beer. I mean, do we have an absolute packed show for you tonight? So let's not even waste any more time. Get to the Mike's Right. Shut the fuck up and listen. All right, everybody. I have a simple rule in life. If you were on a side, your side sucks. Not your ideas, not every person on your side, but the side itself. They all suck. The political team that you've attached your entire identity to, yes, that sucks. Because eventually every side turns into a cult where people stop thinking and start acting like emotionally unstable sports fans. Case in point, the UFC event at the White House. Can we all just admit something that was awesome? That was American as fuck? I mean, seriously, the White House in the background, the crowd, the energy, American heroes flanking the fighters, some encouraging them on, jets screaming overhead in a flyover, and they didn't do the flyover at the end of the song either. They flew past at Land of the Free. It was so badass. You had the UFC Octagon sitting in the White House lawn. Like George Washington finally got his wish and said, you know what this revolution needs? A guy named O'Malley from Montana knocking someone unconscious on the White House lawn. It was awesome. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, Green Party, or a guy who still thinks Ross Perot got robbed. That event looked incredible. And what's amazing is the foreigners here are starting to notice that too. Look at the World Cup crowds. Some visitors are walking around our cities in absolute awe. Others are drinking every ounce of beer within a 50-mile radius. And some are so respectful that they're cleaning the stadiums after the games. Really, that's just the Japs and Jameis Winston, but you get the point. They're coming here and going, holy crap, this country is enormous. This place is beautiful. These people are insane, but in an awesome way. Because America is incredible. It's imperfect, absolutely. Is it messy? Constantly. But it's incredible. Without a question, incredible. Yet apparently, we're all incapable of celebrating anything together anymore. Because if your politician isn't in office, then suddenly nothing can be good. The economy could improve, crime could drop, fucking aliens could land and cure cancer. And half the country would be on social media going, yeah, but did you hear what Trump said in 2012 about napkins? Everything becomes cherry-picked outrage. And both sides do this. I could honestly sit back and say that every president in my lifetime has done both great things and terrible things. Every single one of them. I mean, except Biden. I mean, truthfully, I don't know if he was doing anything. I think he was just wandering around the government buildings asking where the fucking bathroom was. But I don't know. Maybe he was running the country. Maybe he was a hologram. Who knows? Maybe the Roomba was really in charge. But I'm sure history will figure that one out. But every other president, they did great things and they did horrible things. I can admit that. Many people can't. And nothing made that clearer than this past UFC event. I mean, I really want you to think about this. Think about what you saw. An American underdog wins the main event, perhaps the biggest underdog in UFC history. He wins it in the most American fashion imaginable. Not a split decision, not on points, but an absolute ass-kicking, throwing missiles. The kind of victory where bald eagles shotgun beers and start doing donuts in the fucking parking lot. Even the non-American fighters looked around at this. It was like, this is insane. This country is so great. Thank you, America, for this opportunity. It should have been one of those moments where we all collectively said, damn, this is pretty cool. Well done. But no. Days later, the big story is one fighter saying Michelle Obama is a man. That's it. 5 words. With the "Am I right, America" after it. That became the focus. And here's where this gets funny. The same people who have spent 10 years calling Melania Trump every insult imaginable, who called her a prostitute, who made disgusting comments about her, who released her nude photos in nationwide papers, who spread vile rumors and then cheered when the FBI sniffed her underwear and stole her bras. And on top of way more disgusting behavior and comments that I really don't care to put on display here. But those same people are now horrified. How dare anyone disrespect the former first lady? It's like, oh, really? Now you care? Interesting, because you were the same people who last week, didn't you call her an Epstein hooker who took a black strap onto the ass from Maxwell herself? But this got you upset. It's funny. Meanwhile, the people on the right who were furious over that black strap-on comment towards Melania immediately started laughing about this. Then went on to post AI pics and videos of Michelle with a 10-inch pork sword swinging in the wind and pitching a tent. And when you challenge either side on their hypocrisy, their answers are identical. Oh, this insult to my side is wrong and disgusting. But that insult towards them, well, that's different. I could prove that one. It's like, no, you can't. You can't prove it unless you either jerked Michelle off or fingered Melania after paying Epstein a fee. But you didn't. So either both comments are out of line or both comments are fair game. Pick one. But you don't get to suddenly become an archbishop of decency depending on which political wife is being insulted. That's not principles, people. That's team sports. That's intellectual gymnastics. It's hypocrisy with a flag sticker on it. And that's sadly where we are. America was center stage, the White House, the flyover, the crowd, the patriotism, the underdog victory. Just a giant celebration of the weird, loud, over-the-top, beautiful insanity that is this country. And instead of celebrating all of that together, we immediately went back to calling each other Nazis, communists, fascists, groomers, traitors, and whatever new words social media invented that morning that these idiots never even heard before. It's exhausting, sort of. But here's the truth. I've said it before, this country isn't perfect. It never has been. It never will be. But it's ours. And it's all of ours. Republicans, Democrats, independents, the people who don't vote, the people who only vote because they hate the other guy, the weird uncle who thinks the CIA controls hurricanes still. It's all of us, every single one of us. And honestly, maybe, just maybe once in a while, we need to stop. And we should be capable of seeing the bigger picture. Maybe we should occasionally put the bias down. Maybe admit our side can be idiots. And then admit that the other side can occasionally have a point. And maybe appreciate moments that remind us of just how fortunate we all are to live in America. Because if you're falling for this endless outrage machine, stop. I mean, fuck it. How about go old school and stop, drop, and roll? Maybe that'll put out the giant hypocritical fire that's burning in half of the country's minds. Because if your side has convinced you that America only matters when your guy wins, then congratulations, morons. You're not a patriot. You're a loud fanboy with a voting record. That's Mike's right. Hope you listen. All right, let's fucking go, man. I got to tell you something. We had a, I want to congratulate Justin Gaethje. I didn't get to do this. I wanted to really do this Monday, but I had that committee meeting, which we're going to get to in a little bit. But I got to tell you something, watching that event, you could actually feel the energy through the crowd. And I got to tell you something, watching that flyover, that was one of the coolest flyovers. And when they did it, I alluded to it in the Mike's right. That was America. That was the essence of what we are. That was the essence of, I think, the energy and the passion and what makes us just stand out from the rest of the world is the ability to put on, events like that. And there's people that were out there like, oh, look at him putting old, people in wheelchairs that won the Congressional Medal of Honor, and he's ridiculing these people. And I didn't see it. To truth be told, I never even knew half of these people existed, and I'm glad that I got to see a 95-year-old, Congressional Medal of Honor winner actually highlighted with their name on that type of national stage. Isn't that what we want? I don't understand how we could go and do this both-sided thing all the time just because it's your side. It really, honestly makes me sick to my stomach. But let's get to this. Let's switch gears a little bit. I want to say hi to the chat. Jay Will, love it. Caltrop, it's Johnny. Love you guys. How are you guys doing? Jay Will says, frankly, the guy don't need to say anything about Obama. Only pussies, both sides, everything. It was a great event. Only pussies, both sides, everything. Jay Will, let me tell you something. Only pussies say that my side is right. I will put it that way, Jay Will. And dude, the guy didn't really need to say anything about Obama. Why did he do it? He didn't need to say it, but he did. But he did. And should we be going crazy over this? Should anybody be going crazy over this? I think this is the type of distraction horseshit. I wish he didn't say it. I'm honestly at a point where I don't care for I never, Jay Will, you've been watching for a really long time. I've never cared for the Melania as a man stuff. I mean, the Michelle as a man comments. I've always found it funny. Just like I found the FBI sniffing Melania's fucking underwear drawer. I found that hysterical. I do find some of the stuff that they say about Melania funny, and just funny just out of the sheer hypocrisy of it. But I don't get offended at any of this, but I don't think any of it's right. But the point I'm making is We can't have it both ways. It can't be one way or the other. You can't say the things about Melania and then be outraged about the other stuff. I mean, it really just doesn't work that way. Rich Kramer says the reason Michelle thing is believable is that they defend her like she may actually be a man. Rich, I gotta be honest with you, man. We played that Candace Owens thing the other night, and Candace Owens was being sued by Macron, and not because she accused her of being a man, because of some other mundane reason, but they used the excuse of it being a man. You would think Michelle would be suing everybody, but then you have to prove you're a woman. So, that's the discovery, right? Like, if I was the lawyer, I'd be like, show your dick. It's really basic. Hey, how about a couple pictures of you pregnant? How about something? I don't want AI. Show me your junk right now. And I know that's completely demeaning and ridiculous, but that's really what it's going to have to come down to if you want to prove it. So I don't think anybody wants to prove it. That's for damn sure. He says the reason. Oh, he already read that. If it was me, Steven says, if it was me, I would go on national TV, drop my pants, and hey, man. Yeah, listen, Steve. I completely agree with you. Just put it to rest. Drop your shit, and let's fucking go. All right. Let's move on. Let's change some topics right there. I'm going to do a couple. Let's do this. I want to get into little personal segments. Let's go into a deep breakdown.
In-depth breakdowns.
All right. Whoa, what happened? What just happened? I have no signal on my camera. My camera go dead? I don't know what's going on right here, guys. Hold on. Let's see. Restart this camera. I love when I play something and things go off. Let's see. Not that one. Oh, there we go. I don't know why that just switched. But it just switched. So a little in-depth breakdown. Let's do this. So Monday, I didn't do the show, obviously. And I went to my first committee meeting. Now, I got to be honest with you. Like, this was, this is all learning experiences for me. And I have a way that I'm going to be playing this going into these things. Because I honestly want these people wondering what the fuck is on my mind and what I'm doing. So the lady who ran the meeting, I gave her a call. She sends me a text message. Hey, a reminder meeting, 6:00 tonight. We have the meeting. I was like, all right, 6:00. I'm working on a roof, doing a chimney at the time. I was really just wrapping this whole job up. And I knew 6 was going to be tight, but cool. It was 6:00. So I give her a call, and I'm the type of guy. I said, listen, I want to kind of talk. I want to set the expectations with her. I want to set the expectations with everybody. But moreover, I want to know what we're going to be doing. Are we voting for stuff tonight? Like I've never been on this committee, and I don't know what the first night was actually going to be like. So she basically gave me a call back and said that we're going to be voting for either her position and the vice position that was coming out. I knew the guy that was running for vice. I didn't know her very well. Then she goes on to tell me that she's pushing the start time to 6:15 to 6:30. Probably going to be 6:30 because there's a couple people that can't make it. I said, all right, great. 6:30 actually works perfect for me. Because if it's 6:30, then I could get there. I'll be there like 10 minutes early, 15 minutes early. But it gave me the ability to come home, actually shower, sit down and eat something, and then go to this meeting. I got there at 6:22. And the meeting has already been going for like 5-10 minutes, right? So admittedly speaking, I was late getting into this meeting. And it was very interesting because I did think it was pushed to 6:30. So what I missed was the vote, obviously, for the vice president, but it started off like that. It started off in a way where it was like, hey, we're going to be trying to start this around 6:30, and we wound up starting it at 6:18, a little bit earlier. So, okay, whatever. She said 6:15 to 6:30. I don't know why 6:30 was said if that wasn't going to be the number. But anyway, my fault. So then I get in the back, and I'm listening to George Gilmore speak. Steele Moore, George Gilmore. And it's basically like a rally of his on what they've accomplished in this committee and what they want to do and how they're going to work for the Republicans and all this. It's like a little rally for him. And then another woman gets up, Scaturo. She's another one that's been in charge of this for the entire thing. She talks, another little rally pitch and some information. And then the lady who ran the meeting got up and spoke. And then it got interesting. And this is what I've been thinking about for the past couple of days, because it's very, it was a little bit of a bitchy show of force. Okay. So one of the Republican candidates in Brick, Lisa Renna, who I actually like, who I think is a good person. The problem is she's with them. Okay. But she raises her hand and says, I'd like to make a motion. And this is obviously it was a power move. And you guys tell me in the chat if you think it was a power move as well, just to show me how powerful and how together they all are in this little ridiculous Brick group. Right. So Lisa makes a motion, raises her hand and says, I want to make a motion that this committee is going to endorse George Gilmore as chair. Okay. So when she does that, the lady goes, anybody have a second? Greg Cohen, who was another newly minted council member for the Republicans, goes second, but like 3 other people seconded it. They yelled it like the exact same time. Like it was second. And they yelled it loud. It was kind of like trying to be, trying to be overbearing. It was interesting. So it was like all in favor say aye, and it was aye, and I didn't say anything. I didn't clap for anybody. I didn't look. Because the way I look at this, almost everybody in that room was a problem. And I say almost, and I mean almost. Okay, but everyone in that room has been part of the problem for a really, really, really long time. Whether they're good people or not, they're all part of the problem. And they just showed me that they were all part of the problem. So when they did that, when they say all in favor say aye, the people that were for Gilmore like yelled aye. It wasn't like aye, it was aye, like emphatically. And I chuckled inside. I chuckled because it's the way they react and the way they reacted to me through this entire time. You see what they're doing. And I want to say something to everybody, and I'm not going to elaborate on this. You'll see what happens. The people that did that and the woman that made that motion, I'm going to tell you right now, when I run for mayor, you are going to help me by doing what you're doing. And I thank you. And I hope you continue to help me. Okay. Because I'm going to tell you something, everybody. I am 100% running for mayor in Brick in 3 years. And I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be coming up with issues, and I'm going to be coming up with solutions to every single one of our problems. And whether you want to, agree with what I say or not, or anything like that, I have got how I'm going to attack this in my mind already. And what you're going to hear out of me is you're not going to hear anybody that's controlled by anybody else. Because all of these people, like when I was people came up to me and they started talking to me afterwards. And one of the things that one of the council members said was like, well, we have problems and we all know what the problem is, Mike, but there's just nothing. I don't think there's anything we could do about it. We all know what the problem is, but we don't think there's anything we could do about it. And that type of attitude to me is absolutely ridiculous because it shows me that you know what the problem is. But the fact of the matter is you can't do anything about it because the people in that very room are the fucking problem. They're the one that's allowing the problem. They're the ones that are causing the problem. They're the ones that are in bed with everybody that's making our lives a bigger problem in my county. And that's what you're hearing out of these people. And I got to tell you something. When I am mayor, okay, when I am mayor, the very first thing that I'm going to be doing when I get elected, and this is something that I guarantee you never heard anybody say, and wait till I say it, and you're going to start hearing other people regurgitate it like this punk ass Brick Republican Party that they like copying me. We're going to get to that in a second. When I'm mayor, this is what I'm going to be doing. For the first 4 months, part of my weeks are going to be taken up by working these jobs. Okay. I am going to work every single department 2-3 days a week. I'm going to be working the cops. I'm going to be working with some of the sergeants and some of the captains. I'm going to be working DPW. I'm going to be working the office. I am going to physically work in every single department that our town has. That way I could fully understand what the real problems are. What are the real issues? I'm going to be able to talk to all the people. How would you improve this? How would you make this better? How could we make your job easier? How could we streamline this? What are things we could do to improve this? And not just in a superficial way. I'm going to be like undercover boss, but I'm not going to be undercover. I'm going to be right there with everybody. And I'm not going to let anybody know where I'm working, when I'm working, because I want to come and just see how it is. And once I get a full understanding of the town, that's when my hypothesis is either going to be proven correct or proven false, or, you obviously can't prove it, but you know what I'm talking about. It's going to be one of those things where I'm going to be able to figure it out. I'm going to be able to say, this is what I thought going in. This is the reality. Now this is how we fix it. And we all know that every one of the politicians are sitting there saying, oh, our town is ran good. Our town's ran good. No, it's not. We have a gross, disgusting amount of waste. And that's it. Jay Will says, Mayor of Brick. Damn right, man. She and Brittany Griner can have a TV special. I love it. Oh, man, it's great. But that was the first, that was the first committee meeting. And the truth is, guys, I'm learning this. What I'm going to be doing is I want to be in the belly of the beast, so to speak. I want to see what the beast is eating. I want to see how they're eating it, how they're cooking it, what spices they're putting on it. They putting hot sauce on it. I want to know everything about these people. I want to know how they operate. And the truth of the matter is, I have an idea how they operate, but I haven't infiltrated them yet. And what I saw was a dying breed of dinosaurs that are looking at their extinction, and they are reacting to their own extinction because they know it's coming. They know they're old. They know they lack imagination. They know they are just going to get along, go along people. They know they're in with a felon. And they can't get out of it because they need the felon's money. All of these things that are going on. And the most disgusting part about this whole thing is those are the people that give you your Republican candidates, the people that you were forced to vote for, the ones that you always say, this guy sucks, but he's a Republican, so I have to vote for him. Those are the people that give you those candidates. And everyone wonders why we never have any good Republicans. It's because the people that are giving you the candidates are not in the best interest of you. They're in the best interest of them, their jobs, and their bullshit power brokers that control them. Every single person in that room was a fucking puppet. Every single one of them. Well, I'm going to say the exception of 4. There was one guy that really impressed me. He was an old former candidate, a mayor candidate of Brick. He came right up to me. I could tell how people shake my hands. One person that I know pretty well came up to me and like put their hand out like to shake my hand when they usually give me a hug. And it was like, come here, give me a hug, right? Because now like you're trying to give an impression that you're not really cool with me, but we know we're cool. It was just funny watching how every single person reacted. Let's get to some of these guys. Love it. Adam, how did she cut you off? Ed, she definitely cut me off, Ed. She definitely cut me off. But what are you going to do? It is what it is. Adam Heidi says, George Gilmore is a documented criminal, is someone who pardoned by Donald Trump in 2022. He's also Frank Senegi's business partner. I think his wife is the business partner, right? But yeah, you're 100% right. He's a convicted felon. And this is the people that we are going to endorse. This is the guy that the person who is probably going to be the Brick Republican Club's mayor candidate, and Lisa Rana coming up, is aligning herself with a felon. She's aligning herself with a group of Republicans that are so hated in Brick, New Jersey, that Brick, New Jersey votes 70% for Donald Trump or 68% for Donald Trump, and they lose mayoral elections for the last 12 years. That's how bad the Brick Republicans are in my town. It's unbelievable. Adam, by the way, Adam Haiti, we got to get you on the show, bro. You're a wealth of information. It says, why your government committee have to endorse Gilmore? We're never heard of a municipal committee endorsing somebody. So that's Adam. That's the show of force that I was trying to tell you about, right? That was purely, and listen, man, if people didn't walk up to me and talk to me, if I was just another member and we all got in there and left, but people came up to me and started talking to me, you know that they are discussing me. You know that they are discussing the movement that me and you are creating, the movement to where we're realizing that these are the people that are actually the problem, and we know how to go at the problem, and we're identifying the problems and we're coming up with solutions. You know it's got them shook. They spent money on this committee meeting trying to beat some other Republicans. They're spending money on this. They did AI hit pieces and paid ad. It's unbelievable what they did here. So the reason why they did that was to show me and to show the people that were against Gilmore that Gilmore still has the power. And they think that by them endorsing Gilmore, that's going to help Gilmore in the other areas, and he's going to get more votes. I think it's, I think they exposed themselves. I think they expose themselves, kind of like how Michelle Obama should expose herself and prove that she's not a man. No, I'm just fucking around. Never in my life. He said, all right, drop Morgan Engineering, 100%. These aren't real Republicans. I agree with you, bro. These are not real Republicans. Think about this for a second. Ready? Check this out. Check this out, Adam. I'm going to leave this up there because that's a real good quote. Check this out. Ready? I got a message the other day and it said, hey, did the Brick Republicans block you? So I went on my page and I look at my groups, and you see right here, the Brick Breakdown is to the left, and that Jersey sign right there, that's usually one to the right, and the Brick Republicans logo is usually right there. So they blocked me. And they blocked me, but what they did was they copied me. And the reason why they blocked me is they did this. What is the biggest issue facing Brick Township right now? And these were all of the the things you could choose from: overdevelopment, property taxes, roads, blah, blah, blah. It got like 14 votes on it. Well, I did this 2 months ago, if you guys remember. It's still going. It's got over 1,000 comments on it. It's all spelled out right there. These people have no imagination to where they have copied me every single step of the way. They have copied me to the point where they know overdevelopment's their biggest problem, but they are the people that are bringing overdevelopment. So what are they doing? They're messaging against themselves because they know it's the number one issue in my county. They are messaging against the people that are their own power brokers, that are the ones that are responsible for all of the overdevelopment in the area, the ones that get the government contracts for the overdevelopment. They are actively working against them, and they know it because, again, overdevelopment, if you look at it, that was the biggest vote getter, and it was one of the biggest vote getters when I did my poll. So when I commented on that, I said, "Hey guys, it's funny you have no imagination. I did this over 2 months ago. You should have just read that. You would have been fully aware of what the hell was going on." And I got blocked from that. So, Adam, when you say these aren't real Republicans, in my opinion, they don't want totalitarian control. Real Republicans, in my opinion, want freedom of speech. They don't want to block speech. Real Republicans, in my opinion, don't act like Democrats. Real Republicans aren't people that were Democrats in 2019 and that are now switched to Republicans that are running the Republican club with his other Democrat friend that just switched last year. Those aren't real Republicans. And I got news for everybody. I'm not a real Republican. I'm a fucking rhino. I'm really Republican in name only, because I don't give a shit for either one of these sides. I care about the Constitution, and the Constitution is not Republican or Democrat. It's Republic and freedom, not Republican and Democrat, and certainly not Republican and Democrat and liberal conservative, situations that were going on. Last comment from Adam. I'm ripping through all these. These are GOP criminal syndicates with ties to Washington. Hence why GOP Chair Gilmore got pardoned by Trump after he got arrested for fraud, convicted felony of fraud. 100%, because he's one of the people that are behind getting money for him. And he's honestly behind getting money for Democrats and Republicans. He has done fundraisers for Democrats, for Christ's sake. That's your Republican leadership, does fundraisers for Democrats. Teresa says, what you describe as the mindset of operating as a business rather than operating as a self-interested politician. Oh, listen, so I guess you're talking about my plan when I get in there. We are talking a business. Now, listen, I'm a small business guy. I don't get big for a reason, right? I don't do credit cards for a reason because I'm bad at them, right? I've had credit card debt. I still do. I had a credit card ran up from a job where I kind of got screwed on, one of like 3 jobs that I got screwed on in 25 years. Add-ons. And, these are lessons learned, that you take these lessons in business and you get screwed and then you change your policy over. But I don't use credit cards for a reason, Because to me, it's not real money. It's just here, money, here, money, here. And then when it comes in, you're like, oh, how many times did I swipe this fucking thing? And what did I do? I stopped using credit cards. That's how I learned. That's how I deal with myself. I know I'm not good at them, and I stopped using them. And that's part of our problem. We have nothing but a municipal credit card that everybody's allowed to swipe. And nobody acts like it's real money. Nobody thinks it's that, we have to pay for this somehow, but everyone keeps fucking swiping. And that's how these budgets get out of control. That's how you have a situation where taxes are going up every single year, and you have seniors that are saying, fuck these kids, I'm not paying for them. And then you have kids getting left behind by the seniors because the seniors aren't getting any benefit from all these tax raises. And in Bricktown, it was $500 last year, $500 a year before, just for the schools. So in 2 years, it's $1,000 more to these seniors for schools. So what do you have? You have people in your county that are fighting against each other because of these jerked off politicians. Instead of running things the right way, putting money where it needs to be, but also not burdening every single person that has been paying into the school system for their entire lives. And nobody thinks about this, Teresa. Nobody thinks about any of this stuff. So yeah, when I get in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this. It's like a business. This is a business. They have hundreds of millions of dollars that we're spending. This isn't just a business. This is gigantic business. And yes, somehow we have to make revenue, and somehow we have to pay for things, and somehow we have to cut spending that nobody wants to do. And the truth of the matter is, I don't care about being a politician. I'm not trying to move on. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. But I'm not going to be pandering to people. So when I go for my next position, and I go for the next position after that, then I'm trying to set up votes for three things down the road. And I'm sorry, but we see that in every one of our politicians, every one of our assemblymen, Paul Kenitra included. And I like him. But he's setting up for his next job right now. So he's not going to ruffle any feathers because he doesn't want to jeopardize that. And that's just the bullshit. Adam says, spot on, and he's laughing at me. I fucking love it. So yeah, Teresa, I am 100% going to do this like a person that I want to understand it, right? I want to understand what I'm stepping into. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not going to be running as a council. I'm not going to be wasting my time with a lot of that Mickey Mouse bullshit. I'm going to get right in there, and I'm going to figure out what the issues are. Where are we spending stupidly? Where could we spend better? What positions can we actually cut? What doubled up positions do we have? Where's our salary going? Who's making our salary? Why do we have police chiefs that are drawing $150,000, $200,000 worth of a pension and getting another $100,000 job? Why is that taking place in Brick, New Jersey? These are the things I want to figure out. And now watch, you're going to hear other people start trying to copy me. But don't worry, let people copy, because they're not going to be able to do it. But I could step in, and I think I could do every single job in that government, and I want to be able to do it. That's going to be part of what I'm doing as mayor. So that's it right there. Jay Will says, Mayor Brick, you need to get the guy that came up with the Cuckabee on your campaign staff. No, bro, that's the guy that I loathe. I pushed him into Cuckabee. I pushed them into that. That actually was pretty funny. I really enjoyed it. Let's move on, because man, holy shit, does this fucking show fly by sometimes, man? I'll tell you that much. Did you hear this? The Scottish people were legit running out of beer. Did you hear this? Where are these? I have so many things here. Check this out. Boston beer. Guys said, we never seen anything like it. The Patreons emptied the bar and the liquor stores and everything. And another one, he says, Scottish soccer fans drink Boston bars dry, forcing emergency beer deliveries. They were drinking everything. They drank all out of the Scottish beer. They were even drinking Bud Light, this guy said. It was like, man, they were fucking drinking everything. And there was somebody on the street, he asked a Scotty, he was like, why the fuck did you come to Boston and drink all of their beer? What were you thinking?
It didn't get dressed up for nothing.
Sorry, I had to do it. I fucking had to do it. I love it, man. I fucking love it. Talking about Cuckabee. I love it. Let's move on because I really want to cover all of this stuff. Let's get to Trump, Lebanon, and the Iran nuclear deal. Is there anything else left onto that? Paul Griffin says B. Oh, wait. The problem is that they think putting money in their own pocket is where it needs to be. Yeah, Paul, that is every single one of these politicians. And the good thing about me is I don't have a lot of money. I don't need a lot of money. I don't want a lot of money. I am the simplest dude. I'm sitting here in sweatpants. I went to that meeting in shorts and a t-shirt. I'm not trying to impress you guys. I'm not here to win a fucking, a dress competition. I'm not here for any of that stuff. I am here because I want to be comfortable in my own town in every single way, shape, and form. Right. And lying to people about who I am because I got to dress a certain way to fit some type of, that's not who I am. That's not who I am. And everybody else is doing that shit. That's what they want to do. They want to grow and exactly line their own pockets. And the good thing about me is, my pockets are lined with crumbs, sand, and concrete dust. It doesn't have any room for fucking money. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always working so damn hard. I'll tell you that much. But let's check this out because we have an interesting situation that's going on right now. We have a 14-point plan. All right, here is if you guys did not know this, there is a 14-point Iranian plan that's going on here. And let me see where I have all this stuff. 14-point plan. Sorry, I have a 14-point agreement. Here we go. Here's the 14-point agreement. I'm going to read them off with you guys so we could get completely to this. Now, this is what I did. I AI'd this and said, not AI'd, I Googled this and give me the 14 points and read that. And then I picked out a couple paragraphs that are actually in what they released. Okay, so I read both. I read what AI gave me and read what that is. And it's interesting seeing how they take it and how they're feeding it to you. Okay, so let's put it this way. 14 points of agreement. End military operations. Both sides to commit to it. Immediate, permanent, and military actions of all forms, specifically including conflicts in Lebanon. That, for what I could tell, is in those paragraphs. That's dead on. Sovereignty and non-interference. Both nations agree to respect each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty, pledging not to interfere in internal affairs. That, I think, is in the deal. Negotiation timeline. A maximum 60-day window is set to negotiate and a comprehensive final deal, which may be extended mutual agreement. That is 100% in the paragraph. And let's see, is that paragraph 3, paragraph 5? Which one is it? Let's see. Oh, that's we'll make arrangements. That's okay. There you go. This is paragraph 5. Upon signing, the Islamic Republic of Iran will make arrangements using its best efforts for safe commercial vehicles with no charge for 60 days only. That was a different one. We're gonna get to, I'm gonna come back to that one. Okay. But those are your 14 points. Those are the first 4. And removal of the naval blockade. United States will immediately begin dismantling its naval blockade. Here we go. Number 5, Strait of Hormuz reopens. Number 6, Reconstruction Fund. This is where I think it's getting confusing for everybody with the U.S. and regional partners. Ready? Listen how AI presents this to you. The U.S. and regional partners would develop an economic development and reconstruction plan for the Iran valued at a minimum of $300 billion, dependent on final deal compliance. Okay. Now, when they say dependent on final deal compliance, they don't clarify that it's not U.S. money. All it is it's $300 million U.S. dollars that are to be. They say USD is actually what they have in the paragraph. But that is for financing, and what they're going to do is they're going to allow other countries in that area to finance Iran in order to rebuild them. We are not giving them $300 billion of our tax dollars. That is what J.D. Vance said. That is what I heard Donald Trump say a number of different times. And so the way they're phrasing it to you is to me is very ridiculous. And what is that? Okay, that was. Let's see. I think it's this one. Here we go. Ready? The United States of America. This is actually paragraph 6 in their deal. Undertakes regional partners to develop a definitive mutually agreed plan with at least $300 billion for the reconstruction, economic development of the Islamic Republic of Iran. This mechanism is for the implementation of this plan. We finalize as part of the final deal within 60 days. All required licenses, waivers, and permissions needed for the relevant financial transactions will be granted by the United States of America. So what they're saying is they're going to take the sanctions off and they're going to allow them to rebuild what we destroyed. We destroyed well over $300 billion worth of things. All right, let's get back to it. Actually, hold on. I think we got to get back to this one. The phased sanction relief. The U.S. outlines an agreed schedule of lift existing economic sanctions 14 to 15 or 11, 9, 10, 11. So nuclear non-proliferation. Iran explicitly affirms that it will not procure, enrich, or develop nuclear weapons. So let's go to paragraph 10. The Islamic Republic of Iran reaffirms that it shall not procure or develop nuclear weapons. The United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran have agreed to resolve the disposition of stockpile enriched material pursuant to a mechanism that will be mutually agreed upon in accordance with the schedule mentioned in the paragraph. Now, I'm going to say this. If you remember, this is kind of what bothers me, and I get it's a lot of bluster, and I get it's positioning. But we went from total, complete surrender to we want all of their nuclear, they can't have any nuclear program, to now it looks like they are going to be able to have some form of nuclear material, whether we dilute that nuclear material, get it down to, from 60% or whatever it is, down to just energy grade, but they clearly have nuclear ambitions. And in this, it doesn't look like we fully take away their nuclear ability. And it's that will be mutually agreed upon in accordance with the schedule mentioned. So within 60 days, the two parties also agreed to discuss the issue of enrichment and other mutually agreed matters related to the Islamic Republic of Iran's nuclear needs based on a satisfactory framework being agreed upon in the final deal. So while everybody is saying, oh, the deal is not even close to being done. This is a framework, and all the details that it seemed that we've been working out for the last 60 days, they're still being worked out. All right. So that's that. And then we have this, paragraph 5. The Islamic Republic will make arrangements. I wanted to come back to that because this is interesting. This is the reopening the Strait part. Because when they say the Strait of Hormuz will be reopened, this is what they're saying. Upon signing of this, the Islamic Republic of Iran will make arrangements using its best efforts for the safe passage of commercial vehicles. Did you hear that? Using its best efforts for the safe passage of commercial vehicles with no charge for 60 days only. So they get to, I don't understand this. Do they get to charge tolls after 60 days? Is it just a 60-day window? I don't know what's going on here. And through their best efforts, I don't know, it will make arrangements using their best efforts. How about stop firing on ships and just let them go? What is that? You have to put effort towards that? It's this type of language that are in this absolute horseshit that I don't like. And I got to be honest with you guys. Like, everyone's like, oh, with this agreement, Iran will never, ever get nuclear weapons. Yeah, okay, right? Like, so you're telling me when a Democrat comes into office, they just won't start doing it and say, hey, you're not going to bomb me, so we're just going to get them anyway? Fuck you. Trump came in and blew up Obama's deal. You're telling me the next Democrat can't come in and blow this deal up? And to tell you the truth, if you want to talk about blowing up deals, you know who's going to blow it the fuck up? Israel. Because the Israeli ministers called for bombing Beirut, and they called for the fact that they said we're not going to stop bombing. We don't recognize Trump's deal. We don't agree with Trump's deal. And a matter of fact, we don't give a shit. We are going to fire if we feel like firing. That is what Ben-Gvir said. That is what Netanyahu has been saying. This is what all of these people are saying. So, and then you have this. This is a Piers Morgan. This is 2 minutes on Piers Morgan. Listen to this answer. Piers comes right out and asks, if Trump tells Israel to knock it the fuck off, are they going to listen to him?
He's a spokesman for the Israeli embassy in London. Well, welcome to you. We've not seen you on our censor before. Donald Trump said, if I tell him Netanyahu to do something, he does it. Is that true?
Oh, shalom, Piers. Right, straight into it.
Yeah.
We have a very good relationship with our American allies. We are constantly in conversation and communication on all different levels. We're talking. We're partners in this.
Do you do what you're told by the President of the United States?
We are partners in this. We are partners in this.
Well, that's not quite how he phrased it, because a partnership is where you agree things together. He says, if I tell him to do something, he does it. Is that true?
Again, we're partners. We constantly talk.
So you have that. That's an ambassador for Israel. That is basically saying, no, we're partners. We don't listen to him. This is Ben Gvir.
הסכם רע לישראל, כמו שטראמפ עלול להביא מול איראן, יפגע בגוש הימין בבחירות הקרובות.
קודם כל יש דבר, מה שנקרא, שהוא הדבר האמיתי, זה חיי אדם. הסכם רע למדינת ישראל יכול לפגוע בחיי אדם. אני יודע שראש הממשלה נתניהו וכולנו, כחברי קבינט, גם קבינט מצומצם, גם קבינט רחב, גם כממשלת ישראל, לא ניתן לדבר הזה לקרות.
אבל זה הסכם
רע, זה הסכם שיכול לפגוע במדינת ישראל, ואנחנו לא ניתן לדבר הזה לקרות. זה לא יקרה. הסכם רע לא יהיה, לא יכול להיות, משום שבסופו של דבר, ההסכם רע, זה לא קשור לבחירות או לא בחירות.
Did that sound like a guy that was going to listen to the deal? Did he sound like people that are going to help Trump out in making this deal? No, what he just said to you was a bad deal for this is a bad deal for human life. Obviously, they don't give a shit about the human life they killed in Lebanon. They don't give a shit about the human babies that they killed in Gaza and that they've been bombing all over, all 7 different countries the last 2 years that these maniacs have been bombing. They don't care about that human life. They only care about their Israeli human life. And what did he say? A bad deal will not happen. A bad deal for Israel is not going to happen. So what are they going to do? They're going to continue bombing Lebanon because that's what they did, and this is what Trump just said.
I'll tell you what, Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long, and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody, because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses, and they're not all Hezbollah, that I can tell you. And I suggested to Israel to let Syria take care of Hezbollah. Because to be honest with you, I think they do a better job of doing it.
Let Syria deal with Hezbollah. Let Syria. That's what Trump's saying. This Trump, all you people that were, telling me that I was wrong about Iran and wrong about Israel and all this stuff, and I've been railing against Lebanon. I actually played that Lebanese woman on my show talking about the rapist Israeli army and how they're bombing kids and how they're blowing up apartments and how they displaced 1 million people and how they're just taking land. And somehow we're mad at Russia for doing the exact same thing Israel's doing while we're fighting Russia from not doing it, while we're helping them doing it, while they're just taking land from people. This is what Israel's doing. They are bombing apartments. They are just destroying homes. And finally, you have Trump that is now saying this. Now, is this just a save face because they already did all the damage that they want to do for right now? And now he's in a save face type situation? I hope that's not it. But I got to tell you guys, I know this for a fact. Israel and America's interests do not align. I don't give a shit what anybody says. They don't. And especially right now, they are not aligning. We have spent trillions and trillions of dollars doing their bidding. This is a rich country. We give them enough money. This needs to stop. And someone asked me, well, how do you stop it? To me, stop funding them. Stop giving them weapons. Make it to where they can only defend themselves. And then, you know what? If they start attacking everybody, pull out and don't help them defend themselves. When everybody starts bombing the shit out of them, we don't step in and help them. Don't step in and say, listen, enough's enough. I heard a great analogy. If you went out with a dude and every time you went out, the guy got in a fight and he was trying to get you in a fight and you got in fights for 6, 7, 8 weeks in a row, eventually when he gets in a fight, you're not going to fight anybody. You're going to let him get his ass kicked. And you're going to tell him that night, if you do this shit tonight, you're getting your ass kicked. And then they go and do it, and he needs to get his ass kicked. And guess what? They need a little bit of the taste of their own medicine, if you ask me, because I'm about sick and tired of it. Jay Willis says, Israel doesn't want this thing to go through. They 100% don't want to go through. We need to reevaluate some of our allies. 1,000%, Jay Will. 1,000%. Sean McCann says, Adam Haiti, they are ruining Ocean County. 100%. Teresa Roeder says, Israel last. Oh, yeah, Teresa, you know what's funny? Israel last, but here's Mike Cuckabee on Israel.
My job to represent the importance of Israel to the United States. This is just another reminder. It is your heritage, without a doubt. But, Minister, it is also the heritage of the United States. Without Israel, without the Jewish Foundation, there would not be an America. We owe our very existence for what happened in this land.
We owe our existence to what happened in that land. So what he's saying is our country is really Jewish. And that's what they try to tell you when they say that we're a Judeo-Christian nation. No, the fuck we're not. Has nothing, there's no Judeo in it. But you hear how these people are spinning it. And this guy's sitting there saying part of his job as an ambassador for America is to advocate on behalf of Israel. No. You're supposed to be advocating on behalf of America to Israel. This is what an ambassador to Israel is supposed to be doing. It's official representative of the president, and the ambassador serves as the primary bridge between Washington and Jerusalem, responsible for implementing U.S. foreign policy, advocating for American interests, and protecting U.S. citizens in that region. Not to advocate to Israel, not to advocate for another fucking country. You're there for us. You're there for America. And a U.S. ambassador, period, is their primary job is to advance U.S. foreign policy, to protect American citizens, and to manage the embassy team to foster a positive diplomatic culture. That's the job. But we have, again, you see it locally, you see it nationwide, you see it worldwide. We have people that are in it for their own ambitions and for other countries' ambitions, and not for American ambitions. We have PACs, we have politicians, we have all these people. They're in it for other countries. Ted Cruz said it. My number one issue is be a defender of Israel. You're an American. You're like I don't know, what the hell is Ted Cruz? Like some Puerto Rican American or some shit, or Cuban or whatever the hell he is. I don't know. But it gets to the point with these people where I get so disgusted watching it, honestly. Let's see. Randall Moore says Israel was a country. Israel was a country until the 1940s. Are you trying to say, Randall, that Israel wasn't a country until the 1940s? Because that would be correct, yes. And Jake Callis says, I don't remember the Jews helping us in the revolution. They were wanderers back then. Jake Calder, what if they helped us out with? Everyone says, oh, they've done so much for America. They share our technology. Well, I don't know. Like, you telling me none of this technology would exist without these people? I find that ridiculous. I think their technology comes from our money because they're a rich country and we give them billions of dollars a year. We defend them. We give them, aid. We give them weapons and the whole 9 yards in defense. I think they've given us bad intelligence from weapons of mass destruction in Iraq to bad intelligence with Russia back in the day, talking about if we got rid of the USSR, that there would be no more terrorism. Then we have Iran here where, hey, we go in there, we're gonna be able to wipe them out and their own people are going to rise up. That didn't happen. Right? They were kind of economy was getting beat up already with Iran before this war. This war is almost kind of like helping them out. We cleaned out the old Ayatollah who was dying anyway. It's a little dirty secret. It's like, hey, we killed this guy. Well, he had cancer and he was weeks away from dying. And we're talking about this as a major accomplishment that we did. It's just, nothing. There's absolutely nothing, in my opinion, that we can't do without Israel. Or, yeah, did I say that right? I don't think they help us at all. I don't think we gain anything from them. If anything, they have cost us trillions and trillions of dollars. What Israel is great at is sucking money out of the people that willingly allow their money to be sucked from them. And Israel does it, and Israel does it in America. They do it to America. They form their own little fucking communities in America. They do it to all the tax-paying citizens, both locally, both nationwide, and worldwide. And everyone wonders how these people have all this money. They suck it from us because we willingly let them do it. And somehow they have convinced a whole hell of a lot of Christians in this country that their religion, that the Jews hate, come from them. Makes no fucking sense. Absolutely none. And Bernadette says, not until 1946. Yeah, I mean, we've been through, I've been through this plenty of times. The 12 tribes of Israel are really the 12 tribes of Jacob. Not one of them were called Israel. They're maybe called the lands of Israel in the Bible. But again, if you look at all this stuff, this is the problem that I have. You cannot make a non-religious argument for this. Tell me why we needed to displace certain people for other groups of people in a non-religious way. In just a plain, logical, sensible way. Not a God way, not God promised this, not quoting the fucking Bible that we don't even know who wrote it. Just tell me without using religion, tell me a reason why. And not one person can actually do it. And I find that to be the most egregious. Jay Will says, yep, while they get the benefit. They wanted to force us to send ground troops into Iran because they're never going to do it. They will never risk their people. They want you, the Goyim, and I am the Goyim representative and the Goyim spokesperson, but they want you to fight and die for them. They want you to give them all their money. They want to take it from you. They want to get you to do all their work. And this has been exposed throughout history. And it's just the bottom line. It's happening. It's happening again and again. If you didn't know, guys, we had a UFC attack. A UFC attack was foiled. Apparently, I don't know. It was very interesting. A group of dudes. This group of dudes, to be exact. I mean, if I ever seen a bigger group of ugly ass fucking liberals start with Tyson, Tyson proper is properly fucking ugly. I'll tell you that one. Brian, Michael Allen Thomas. He's the only one. We have three namers. Daniel Eskridge and Abraham Hermosillo Alvarez. Not one of them are Muslim. I would be willing to bet that not one of those people are Muslim. But apparently they were going to fly drones into the UFC, but the plot was foiled. And JD Vance says there's a lot of security there. And it turns out the plot was like not that advanced. They weren't even in town. So I love how it's like we foiled this terror plot, but really they were just talking about it on Signal. They weren't in town. I don't even think they bought the drones. They bought a couple weapons, but this is just the funniest shit. Oh man, the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Then we have Whoopi Goldberg, and this I had to play. Check this out from Whoopi to JD Vance.
And you were talking about people. What did black people do to this administration that has allowed it to really stigmatize folks of color? And you know how hard it is. You have folks of color in your family.
Sure.
So when you see, things, the Emmett Till stuff coming down, or them doing all kinds of removal of information of black heroes, how does that sit with you?
Well, what exactly are you talking about, Whoopi? Because you just I know Emmett Till was the kid. No, I want to know what she's.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Your actual point.
So in a lot of the museums, there's so many. Where they're taking down the actual history that happened in this country, slavery.
I love that. Well, okay, give me a couple examples of how I've been horribly racist. Well, there's just so many. There's just so many. I can't name not a single one of them, but there's so many of them to name, really. Okay, so pick out one. Well, I really can't do one, but you know what I'm talking about. I mean, you guys have just erased blacks from history completely because you're just racist pieces of shit. But I can't think of one actual example. Kind of like when LeBron James had the N-word painted on his door, but nobody got a picture of it. Nobody's seen it. It was gone within 4 fucking minutes. Yeah, you got to love these idiots. Last two. Speaking of Israel.
We are called the police. No. Get him out. We are called the police. You are fucking Jewish idiot. Yeah. You are a fucking piece of shit. You are fucking
Jewish idiot. I finally love this. I love that woman. It's funny because that came across my feed. It was like disgusting act of anti-Semitism. And here you have a woman talking to a group of kids going, we are calling the police. You are Jewish idiots. And again, they're the anti-Semites. And it's funny when you comment on things, you have like all of the Jews come out and they're immediately defending the kids. Like, what did the poor kids do? They didn't do anything. That lady was just yelling at them. It's like, yeah, they did nothing. They did nothing. And it's funny because in that community, what did you hear when we were talking about like Richie Roberts and all these idiots? He was like, when we come into the community, we're not going to have any crime. We're not going to have any of this. There's nothing this. And like every year it's like kids left in a hot car, parents arrested. This woman stabbed her kids and got arrested. And now the news story is you had a rabbi from Lakewood raping a single mother, sending her dick pics and saying, it's not big, but it's good enough. You want some? I can't wait to grab your Jewish breasts later. This is the shit that these people do. And you know what's funny, because this is why it's all solitary and it's all themselves and everything is anti-Semitism. Because there's so much disgusting shit that actually happens within every society, even the ones that try to hide it. To me, when you go above and beyond, when you have your own court system, when you have your own law, when you have your own police system, when you have your own ambulance, when you have your own everything, when you have your own community separate everybody else, all you're trying to do is hide all the nasty, disgusting things that go on inside your community. And sometimes things get out, and there's a lawsuit that's going after a Lakewood rabbi, and apparently he likes sending dick pics. It's funny because a couple weeks ago we were watching dudes. What were they, jerking off in libraries, watching porn, right? Same group of people. I don't know. It's just fucking funny. You know what? Let's we could go a couple minutes over here. Check this out. This is shaking hands. Dude, I don't want to get into this whole conversation. Because that's going to take way too long. We'll save the shaking hands in the NBA conversation, and we're going to end it with Justin Gaethje.
I'm gonna be so ready. I'm so ready to put it on the line. I don't give a fuck if he beats me, doesn't beat me, doesn't matter. I'm coming in there and I'm gonna try to knock this motherfucker out. I will be throwing missiles on the White House lawn on June 14th. I promise you that.
And a lot of
I'm so tell me that wasn't American. I listened to that dude and I was like, that is the definition of America. You're like, I don't give a shit what happens to me, because like I think that guy represents a lot of what I'm doing right now. The thing that everyone says to me is, they're going to kill you. It's like, that's the one thing Mike, I'm praying for you. They're going to kill you. And I look at everybody and say, listen, I don't care what they do to me. The bottom line is I'm going to be ripping missiles at people, and let's see what happens. Let's see what happens to you. They're going to be verbal missiles. This guy was actually throwing real missiles. Like he fought just a spectacular night, but I wanted to highlight this guy. This is Justin Gaethje. If you look at it, his face right here looked the exact same after the fight.
I'm gonna be so ready. I'm so ready to put it on the line. I don't give a fuck if he.
I'm going to be so ready, but his face looked exactly the same, and he wore some bombs. The guy's an absolute monster. I love what that guy stands for. I love his enthusiasm. I think he perfectly represents America. It's not the prettiest at times, but fuck, when it's right, it's right. And when he's right, he was super right. One of the biggest wins I think I've really ever seen. And then, of course, I can't not without playing this.
Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America?
I'm sorry. Am I the only one that thought that guy was doing an Austin Powers impression? It's like, she's not a woman. She's a man, baby. I think he was just doing Austin Powers. I'm telling you. That's all he fucking did. I got a live studio audience. He was talking before, but now he's laughing at me, I think. I think he's laughing at me. Maybe he's smiling over here. But she's dead. Who knows, man? I love all of the Michelle Obama stuff and fucking the Melanias. I think it's hysterical. I think all this stuff was fucking funny. I don't know why we take our lives so damn serious. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is I saw this and I really, guys, I think it was relevant, and I think it's going to sum up the entire show here. Okay, and it's what I've been talking about. It's what I talk about on a day-to-day basis, where every single one of us that get entrenched in our own corners, and we're voting against people instead of voting for people, and we're voting on negativity instead of positivity, and we're living overall negative lives. This is perfect. And this was the cockroach out of hatred for the ant voted for the insecticide. And they all died, including the cricket who voted blank and the fly who did not go to vote. Right. So I want everybody to look at this. And this is a great representation of America, I think, on how our politics are ran. See, the cockroach and all the cockroaches and all the insecticide, the insecticide's the killer. The insecticide's the problem. But what they do is they get all the ants fighting over themselves, and they get one group to think that the insecticide is good. And then what happens? The group that wants the insecticide somehow outbreeds the other group, votes for the insecticide, and it kills everybody. I think that's an incredible representation of what our politics are like right now, because we have that. We have groups of people that are voting against other groups of people, and we have other groups that are not voting and not being involved. And because of that, everyone suffers and everyone dies. And that's really, that's really the sad reality of what the hell we are facing. And the last comment of the day, Bernadette says, I hope you're paying attention to what JT's actions have exploded the globalists, the European Union, etc. I think he's doing very good things. Now, I think, it's the globalist agenda. We don't know if it's really being exploded or not, because we don't really know what phase they're in, and we really don't know what the fuck their agenda really is. Is this a explosion of one globalist agenda for another globalist agenda? I hope not, but it feels that way, honestly, Bernadette. It really does feel that way. So I get in this with my parents every once in a while. I hope that Trump is not a puppet. I'm getting worried a little bit that he is, but I'm honestly hoping that he's not. Kyra says, hey, I put my hand. Oh, Kyra, I wasn't talking about you. But she says, I put my hand out. I was interrupting you with someone else to say hello and didn't know if you were flying in for a hug or the right thing, but I had no problem with your bear hug. Believe it or not, you were not the only one that did that, Kyra. So I guess I was talking to you, but about you. But I was when I told that story, that actually wasn't really about you. There were several people there that I'm on hugging bases with. But Kyra, yes, I am on. I definitely, I guess you did that too, Kyra. But listen, the bottom line is I didn't read that in a negative way about you. So I hope you didn't take that like I was speaking to you. That actually happened to like 3 different people, like maybe even 4 different people. I got to tell you something. There's people that came up to me, shook my hand, and like talked to me like eye to eye. There were some people that kind of didn't want to know I was there. The person I was talking about was actually a former mayor candidate, and wanted nothing to do with me. And Teresa said, hey, it's our 250th. The critics will always be there. The 250th anniversary of the United States comes once in our lifetime. Less on naysayers, more on celebrating this historic moment. Put out flags, hang buntings, honor our nation. I think, Teresa, I love when you come in with these comments because that was just great. I think we have, we live in such a great nation. We live in such a, people forget you're probably watching me on $1,000 computer or $1,000 phone. You're probably sitting in your hundreds of thousands of dollars house, sitting in air conditioning or a fan on, or in your backyard smoking a cigar, drinking beer, whatever the hell you're doing. And no matter your position, the poorest person in America today, I think, is richer than 98% of the people that have ever lived on this planet, simply because of how we live in today's world. So I do think, Teresa, that is a great response, and that's a great thing to focus on. You guys know me. I want to focus on the positives, and I will laugh at the negatives, but I really do. I'm a firm believer that all of us live in a great country. We are separated by politicians and ideology. We're separated by bullshit. I think all of us are right around here. We all know what the problems are. We all know what the solutions are. We all know that we may not agree on everything, but I think all of us agree on at least 60, 70% of all these things. Even my baseball team, we had liberals and Republicans. We had everybody on it, but what we do is we like baseball and we loved all of these things. And it was the politics were like, if we agreed on 98 things, that's 2 things that we didn't agree on. Politics and maybe something else. And for whatever reason, that overshadowed everything else. I don't know why that happened, but it happened. What are you going to do? But listen, guys, I really appreciate you. Obviously, if you do want to support the show and you do have Zelle, go ahead and freeze this right now. I do take donations. I love it. I will put you on my wall frame, give you a call out, and if you want to do it, use my email. It's MikeC@centercutmedia.com, MikeC@centercutmedia.com, or send me a text. A lot of different ways you can help the show. Bottom line is, if you just share this, if you get this out, you are helping me out by fingering the fuck out of my like button, fingering the hell out of my share button, and sharing this to all your friends. We need to build an army of caltrops. We need to build an army of good thinking people, okay? Thinking people that are not going to be, that are not beholden to anybody else, that all they want to do is make this country, make your town, make your county a better place. So we need to have a lot more people involved. I got to tell you something, Kyra, I know you said something in there and you thought I was talking about you, but listen, Kyra's one of those people. I love that she got elected, and I think she's there for the right reasons. We need a lot more people like her that are in there. But listen, guys, really appreciate you again. I will not be here on Friday. Friday's show is not going to go off. We have actually a family party. I have not showed up to a lot of family parties and stuff because of work. So I will be back on Monday, and we will have the show regular schedule time, 8 p.m. on Monday. From here, guys, what you can do for me, have a great rest of your week. Have an awesome weekend. Spend time with your family. Do what you got to do. I don't care what it is, but let's be positive. Let's stop focusing on the negative. Stop focusing on the bullshit. And let's everybody get our acts together so we could have a country and have a place where, man, maybe we could start agreeing on what some of these issues are, and they all revolve around the people that we vote for. Not one party is happy with their candidates, yet we still vote for them. We have to change that. Caltrops are defense mechanisms, and the way you defend yourself is by not doing the same exact thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Thank you guys very much. Really appreciate you. See you Monday. Later.